Hey everyone, welcome back to another deck idea brought to you by Double Sleeved. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our other videos coming out. Today we're going to be going over the blue Kale leader. Jumping straight in, we have Kale, 10k, pretty standard. Auto, when this card attacks, draw one card. Auto, at the end of your turn, place up to one card under this card in your energy in rest mode. So we're getting a bit of a ramp effect there. Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw one card, switch up to one of your energy to active mode, and flip this card over. So no alternate awaken condition, but on the awaken side, we have Kale, Demon of Universe 6, 15k. We've got the same autos here, so auto when this card attacks, draw one card. Also, at the end of each player's turn now, place up to one card under this card in your energy in rest mode. So now, if we have cards under our leader on either player's turn, we're able to use those cards to ramp. Activate battle once per turn. This card gets plus 5,000 power for the battle for each card under this card. Strong effect if you're able to get those cards underneath your leader. You can start sitting at 20k, 25k if you're able to get multiple. But let's jump into the deck. Starting off, we have one cost Kale, ready to fuse. Auto, when this card is played, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add up to one blue Universe 6 card with an energy cost of 3 or less, or one blue unison with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Activate main once per turn for one blue energy. Look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, add up to one blue Khalifa or Kefla card among them to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Really strong. We've got these search effects that now also come with a activate main combined as well, whereas previously these cards just used to search top 5. So yeah, strong little one cost. Next one drop, we have SS4 Khalifa Universe 6 combination. Auto, when this card is played, draw one card. Activate main for 2 generic energy. If your leader is a blue Kale card, place this card under your leader card from your hand. You can't play non-Universe 6 battle cards with 35,000 power or less for the game. You can still play tokens. So really strong that this card is able to be used from your hand. You don't have to play it onto the field. There's nothing that your opponent can do to interact with it when you activate this skill, but you can be able to get that card underneath the leader, allowing you to ramp. We are going to be locked out of non-Universe 6 battle cards with 35,000 power or less. So we're going to be ramping essentially for this deck. So there's a lot of big, strong battle cards that we've seen in SS4 Vegeta. That would be great to play in this, but it's going to limit the amount of the range of cards that we can play. And you can still play tokens, so that blue negates from Battle Evolution will still be available. I believe it's Chilled's Army Reinforcement, which is good. Next, we have SS Khalifa Rapid Riposte. Deflect, activate main, limit 1 for 1 blue energy. If your leader card is a blue Universe 6 card and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand, then draw 1. Activate main for 2 generic energy. If your leader is a blue Kale card, place this card under your leader card from your hand. You can't play non-Universe 6 cards, 35,000 power or less for the game. So same activate main there, another option for us to start ramping that energy. Really strong. And we're able to play this card and get a 15k body that replaces itself if we need as well. But these cards are mainly going to be used for the activate main at the beginning when it'll start ramping up that energy and getting a bit more advantage over our opponent. Next we have SS Kale Universe 6 combination. It's a 3 cost, 1 specified blue. Counter attack, negate the attack, then play this card. Permanent. If your leader card is a Universe 6 card and it's your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So it works with either the Kale leader or the Kaba leader that we saw come out of this set as well, but the auto is locked to Kale. If your leader is a blue Kale card, when this card is played, you may choose one card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy costs greater than their current energy for the turn unless they choose 2 cards in their hand and place them at the bottom of the deck each time. So very similar to the Trunks tournament pack card that we saw, Heroic Prospect, I believe, except we can't use that card in this deck if we activate the activate main on the cards we just went over, because we're locked into Universe 6, 35,000 power or less. We're locked into Universe 6. We can't play non-Universe 6 cards 35,000 power or less. So this gives us an option to have a Floodgate available, and it's another Kale card to use as well, and it's searchable from some of the previous cards that we went over. Kefla Universe 6 Fusion Warrior. 2 cost, 2 specified blue. Auto, when this card is played from your hand, draw 2 cards, then choose 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of the deck. Activate main for 1 blue energy. If your opponent has 2 or more energy and you choose 1 Khalifa card and 1 KALE card in your drop area, play this card from your hand, then place the chosen cards under it. And activate main limit 1. If your leader is a blue Universe 6 card and you discard this card from your hand, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 blue or yellow Khalifa or KALE card with energy cost of 4 or less among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So yeah, quite some strong effects. If our Khalifa and KALE cards are removed and go into the drop area, or if we combo with them, we're able to play a 15k body for 1. But we also have this searchable effect as well if we discard the Kefla, allowing us to search top 5 and yeah, grab 2 cards. So strong card. Next we have a Sister's Determination, a SR extra card that we saw come out of Saiyan Showdown. It's a 1 cost. Counter attack, if your leader is a Universe 6 card, negate the attack. You may choose 1 blue card in your hand and discard it. If you do, your opponent can only attack 1 more time for the turn with a battle card or unison card with 20,000 power or more. And activate battle limit 1. If it's your opponent's turn, choose up to 1 of your cards and it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. Then choose up to 1 of your mono blue energy and switch it to active mode. It'll be interesting to see how much play this card actually sees. If we start seeing decks that swing with really big, you know, with a lot of 20k power or more, then this card will see more play. Would have loved to have seen this during the Dark Broly saga that we went through. That really would have shut that down, I should say. But it's got a strong activate battle as well, being able to get that plus 10,000 power on your opponent's turn and then untap as well. So yeah, just for 1 card in hand, essentially working like a super combo. Rather than drawing you a card though, we get that untap energy. So very strong. SS Kefla Unending Evolution, 4 cost, 2 specified blue. Dual attack, Union Patara for 2 blue energy with a Khalifa and KALE. Auto, when this card is played from your deck, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So this card does need to be played from deck to get that skill, not using the Union Patara because that would be playing it from hand. But we also have activate main for 2 blue energy. If your leader card is a Universe 6 card and your opponent has 4 or more energy, you may place this card at the bottom of the owner's deck. If you do, choose up to 1 blue Kefla card with an energy cost of 8 in your hand and play it. So yeah, it gives us a bit of synergy with the Khalifa and KALE cards that we have available. If they get removed, we're able to use the Kefla and use the activate main to play them, to essentially fuse with them from the drop area, but not using a fusion skill. It's just an activate main. And if they're still on the board, then we're able to use that Union Patara and play this 20k dual attacker. And we have the added activate main on there as well, which is useful in this deck. We are running a Kefla with an energy cost of 8, which we'll get onto later. So yeah, strong card. KALE Rampaging Demon, another SR that we saw come out of Saiyan Showdown. This one is a battle card. It's 5 energy, 2 specified blue. Deflect, double strike, auto. When this card is played without using skills, choose 1. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 3 or more. Place them at the bottom of the owner's deck. And if your leader card is a blue KALE card, place up to 1 card from the top of your deck under your leader card. Then if you have 7 or more energy, you're able to choose this option as well. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, place them at the bottom of the owner's deck. And then this card gains barrier and dual attack for the turn. When you combine that with the deflect and double strike already, really strong card. Obviously we do need to pay the 5 for it, and depending on how much energy we have will determine which kind of skill we can choose from. But yeah, it's 30k when you have the option to get that dual attack onto an already double strike battle card. Yeah, it can start putting a fair bit of pressure on your opponent. You want to start ramping early on to kind of get to that 7 energy. For the unison, we have Majin Buu, Assault of the Agents of Destruction. Double strike blocker, 20k. This one is 4 specified blue. +0, activate main, draw 1 card. At the start of your opponent's next main phase, switch this card to active mode. And if your leader is blue, switch up to 1 of your mono blue energy to active mode. And then we have a -1 auto. When your opponent attacks with the battle card, you may choose 1 of their battle cards and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. A really good unison that we see a lot of use in blue decks. Usually you have to play this on turn 4, but if we are able to start getting those ramps earlier on turn 2 and things like that, we're able to play this on turn 3, so quite good. Dimension Magic, pretty standard for blue decks. It's a 1-cost counterattack. If your leader is blue, negate the attack, then choose up to 2 of your blue energy and switch to active mode. And we have the permanent Sparking 5 attached as well. So if you have 5 or more cards in the drop area, you can play this card without activating its, without paying its energy cost by taking the life instead. Then we have SS Trunk's God Sealing Technique, another pretty staple blue card. Counterplay, you can't activate counterplay skills on copies of other cards for the turn when you activate this. And you may discard this card from your hand. If you do, the battle card being played is returned to its owner's hand instead. And if you don't play this card, permanent, if you have a blue unison with 2 or more markers in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. We are locked out of playing non-Universe 6 35k power cards when we do our ramp effect, but we do still have the availability of being able to bounce a card back to our opponent's hand. Since we're not actually playing this card, we're just going to be discarding it. So we don't have the option to play this card, but that's not why we run God Sealing. We run it to bounce cards back to hand. Hit Flawless Attacker, Energy Exhaust Barrier, permanent. If you have a blue or yellow Universe 6 card in play, negate this card's Energy Exhaust skill in all areas. Auto, when this card is played from your hand, you may draw 1 card. If you don't, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. And we have the activate main once per turn for 1 generic. If you activate the evolve skill on a yellow hit card in your hand this turn, reduce the skill cost of that evolve skill by 2 yellow. The reason we play this card is for the permanent. We're going to get those 1-cost battle cards out onto the field early, allowing us to charge this negating energy exhaust, which does give us that availability for yellow energy, which will be helpful for some of the following cards that we have more kind of relevant for this card really. SS4 Kefla Lightning Speed. Of course, we have the SPR version of this in our deck. Wouldn't be running anything else. It's an 8-cost 30k, 2 specified blue, 2 specified yellow, but we do have other ways to get this card out. The 4-cost Kefla that we went over before, they were able to pay 2 energy and play this card from hand. So that's one way. But another way here, we have Arrival blue-yellow. We've got 2 blue energy and 1 yellow energy. So we do need to get that hit into our energy quite early on to be able to get this card out. And when you play it, you've got access to a double strike blocker 30k. It does have energy exhaust on it since it's a multicolor card, but some extra effects as well. Auto, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Activate main, limit 1. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, this card gains dual attack for the turn. If the card you discarded with this skill is a copy of this card, draw 2 cards, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards and switch to rest mode. So it does reward you for running multiple copies of this card to kind of get that extra effect. You're going to get that dual attack regardless of the card that you pitch. But if it's another copy, then you're getting additional effects, similar to what we saw on the Broly SPR for the red deck. I really like that skill. It's cool, it's something new, and yeah, it rewards you for running multiple copies of the card. And yeah, if you have multiple copies, they're not just dead 10k combos in your hand. It kind of gives you a bit more use for them to pitch them. If you don't have the energy available to combo that 10k, you can draw into 2 new cards. For the secret rare, nothing else other than Baby Hachiak Saiyan Destroyer. It's a free turn in cardboard. 40k, 8 cost, 4 specified blue, ultimate. Counterattack, if you have 3 or more energy, negate the attack, then play this card. Your opponent can't attack for the turn. That doesn't mean battle cards, unisons, leader, that's everything. They cannot attack for the turn. Really strong card. Permanent, if this card would be removed from your battle area, remove it from the game instead. And permanent, if your leader is a mono blue card, you can choose 1 other card in your hand and discard it instead of paying this card's energy cost when activating its counter skill from your hand. So we don't need to pay any energy for this card. We just need to have 3 energy in total. Pitch another card, play this, stop our opponent's turn. Really strong. Great Ape Son Goku, Saiyan Instincts. It's a yellow card, so can be useful for our arrival to kind of get our big Kefla onto the field. but we mainly run this for the activate main for 2 generic energy. Send this card from your drop area to your warp, draw 2 cards. So if we have that extra energy available that we've been ramping, now we have something to use it. We can draw 2 new cards. Super combo, I've gone for a 2-2 split between Zamasu Sacred Disbelief. It's a blue-yellow 10k 0. If your leader is blue or yellow, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards and switch to rest mode. Gives us kind of an option to get that arrival out without having to find other yellow cards. So instead of using that ape, we can use this card and that will fulfill the condition for the combo. And the other 2, Vegeta Disciplined Warrior. If your leader is blue and your life is at 4 or less, or your energy is blue, when this card is used in a combo, it gets plus 10,000 combo power for the battle. Then you may choose 1 card in your hand, place it at the bottom of the deck if you do draw 2 cards. So we can kind of start getting rid of any dead cards from our hand, just to see 2 new cards as well. And then lastly, for the deck, we have SSG, Sun, Goku, and Hit Temporary Truce. Energy Exhaust, critical, Aegis blue-yellow once per turn. Permanent, if there's a blue-yellow multicolor card in your energy, reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. It's currently a 1 cost 5k combo, so if we are able to get that blue-yellow multicolor card in our energy, it becomes a 0 cost 5k combo, again allowing us to arrival a lot more easy. So we do want to get that hit into our energy. We've seen this effect before on an SR from set 8. So it's good that they've kind of redone this. We've got the same effect still, but this card's more accessible now, being in a rare slot rather than in SR. But that's the deck. That's KALE in a nutshell. Play around with it. Let me know how you go. Leave a comment on the video if you have any other cards that you think might work well with this deck. But other than that, yeah, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our future deck idea and other content videos. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for that.